Hey there. So we're going to start day 4. One thing I also realized, if one of your planes gets destroyed or crashes, you do lose like 2 victory points to replace it. I don't remember the exact number, it's in the rules. A lot of these campaigns give you like an extra penalty. So if you lost a plane, it's going to cost you even more victory points. Yeah, like here it says replacements cost plus 1 VP. So it's going to cost you even more to replace your planes on this particular mission that we're on. Anyways, it is what it is. We're on day 4. Let's start by drawing. And like I said, it's going to be one of these expansion ones. So it is another, and it's actually an air assault. So this time, compared to last campaign, I have plenty of points to help out with this. And so we get, this is going to be worth 3 victory points, I believe. And it's a front line. We get plus 1 loiter turn. And we place the VIP same hex group in a random hex adjacent to the data same hex group. And we don't get squat for winning this one. So that part blows. But we can do this one with our transport guy, and we don't have to use our regular helicopters. In fact, I don't think you're supposed to. So this is where we get to go on a mission with Tiger and the Osprey. So that'll be what this one will do. So it's just 3 more victory points to add on to our already high score. So we happen to have, like I said, the AC-130, the F-35, and the Warthog, and we have 3 battalions left to take down, and that's it. So 1, 2, 3. I do only have 2 scouts left now, so I am going to have to cry a little bit about that. This is one of the few games that I know of where you can't buy more aircraft once the game starts. Like with Hornet Leader, well, can you buy more with Hornet Leader? That one you may not be able to either, actually, now that I think of it. But like with F6, with the B-17 Flying Fortress Leader, that one for sure you need to. Part of the strategy with that one is actually I usually start with no escorts, and then I add escorts later, right? Because as you get SO points every day, you can buy more planes after the fact. So that one, you're sort of starting out with only so many, and then you're adding to your arsenal. So yeah, this is an interesting game in that regard. But getting back to this, add 1 to all assault battalion rolls. There aren't even any assaults left, so that's the reason why that scout group has lasted as long as he has. The one on the far left, the command unit, is the one that's at half strength. So he only has 1 APC, 2 commands, and 2 SAMs. And then the one on the far right is a whole bunch of goodies. 4, 4, 4, 4, 6. I mean, that's a lot of stuff. 4 anti-air sights. So I think that supply depot on the far right, we're going to send our F-35 against him. We're going to send the AC-130. We could send the AC-130 against that supply depot because it does come with 4 buildings. So that means, yeah, the AC-130 is going to go after that one. So that means then that the F-35 is going to go after the command unit, which is only at half strength, and the Warthog will go after this one. All right, so I tend to like to do the AC-130 first, so let's do the assault mission first. We drew our special condition, we assigned our aircraft, we allocate scouts. Which of the 2 are going to get scouts? I don't think the F-35 needs extra turns, so we'll send the scouts with the AC-130 and the Warthog. Those are the 2 that will get the scouts. And so now let's do the air assault. So this one, we only did, 2 of these? We drew, I think, 2, but we only ever actually tried it once to do a mission. The other one we couldn't afford in a previous campaign. So we have to arm our aircraft. Okay, so that means we need to study this a little bit. So first things first is there's going to be a VIP and there's going to be data. So here's the data, and then the VIP is, I'm just trying to find them here. And per these instructions down here, they're going to end up in hexes next to each other. So now within those hexes, the data hex, which is the first one here, is going to have a command, one of these, and then an anti-air, and the goal is to retrieve data. So just grabbing, so the anti-air would be this one. So those two are going to be in with the, so 2 vehicles are with the data is what I'm trying to get at. Okay, and then for the VIP is going to be another command. What did I do with my commands? Here we go. So the VIP is going to have another command, which is a vehicle, and an infantry with him. All right. So that's what we know for certain. And they're going to be in hexes right next to each other. And then there's going to be 1, 2, 3 more infantry just added to the game randomly. And they could be in the same hex, they could be miles away, etc. And so that's what we're going to roll in place. Then whatever squad we send against this, my helicopter has to land them and sort of like hover in the hex. And then our units can fight, and then they can load onto our helicopter and we can move to the next hex and then take care of that one. So we can go in and land in various places, destroy whatever's in that location, and then move on to the next place. Now, if I had like the Black Hawk or the other helicopters, they actually can take munitions with them and shoot. But the weight points for the transport consumes the weight points for the helicopter. So in the case of the Black Hawk, I think you got 4 transport points, but he only could carry 6 weight points. So you could only take 2 weight points of munitions with him. So basically, you're just shooting with your cannon, which isn't very effective. That's what we discovered. The other thing we discovered is that the troops are god-awful expensive to purchase. So you need a lot of SO points to do these dang missions. And I think there's something broken in the design of this game for that reason. I don't think that, I guess this time around I made sure I had a lot of extra SO points because I knew this was coming. So I guess you could argue, well, Jeff, you learned. But anyways. So the one thing I do need help with, and you're going to need the rules next to you, is like how on earth do we retrieve? Because you'll notice that there's a keyword retrieve for the data and then capture for the VIP. There's only one type of unit that can do either one. And it's in the rule books here. I just got to find it. Okay, so it's in the Air Assault rulebook, or little napkin that they give you of rules. To retrieve, you need to have a specialist air assault soldier. He's the only guy who's capable of retrieving. If he dies, then you fail in the mission. To capture, you have to have a rifleman, and these aren't negotiable. So you need to have that. So let's get the Osprey out so you can take a look. I'm going to just scooch this stuff down so you can still see it. Now the Osprey has a transport value of 10, which means we can take 10 weight points worth of troops. So we know for sure we need a rifleman. A rifleman looks like that, and he takes 2 weight points out of the 10. And then that little 2 there is SO points. So for every SO point I spend, I get 10 sub points, right? That takes 2 of my 10 sub points to get a rifleman. Now, let me see if I can find the specialist. There's a spec op, but don't confuse him with the specialist. A spec op guy sucks. And we talked about him in a previous one. Here's the specialist. So he only costs 1 weight point and 9. That 9 means that's what he has to roll to hit. So he's worthless. He's not going to be hitting anybody for you. He's just your data guy. He's your nerd with a gun. Now, why did I pick on the spec op again? I guess I know we talked about it, but there's the spec op. He costs 7 SO sub points. He hits with a 5 or less. It's ridiculous. A 5 or less. Look at that rifleman. He hits with a 6 or less. Why would I pay 7 points for a spec op? Now, the spec op only takes 1 weight point. I guess that means something. Nothing. But he's so totally worthless, it's not even funny. So just to put it in perspective, let's get a sniper that costs 4 weight points, or 1 weight point, but 4. He gets a +7 against infantry. So he only hits infantry with a 3 or less. So he's pretty specialized. So maybe that's not going to float your boat. Let's try, I know he's in here. It's the MG nest is what I'm looking for. Because the MG nest sort of makes that guy look like child's play. Oh my gosh, where is he? There's Rifleman. I'm going blind. Where's the MG nest? There we go, MG team. I guess maybe the issue is there's only one of these in the game, and there's 2 spec ops. So look at this guy. He's also 1 weight point. He costs 4 sub points instead of 7, and he hits with a 4 or less. He is as good or superior to the spec op in every way. There's not a single stat that spec op has that's better than MG team, except for this one thing. There are 3 spec op counters in the game. And there's only 1 MG team in the game. I guess maybe that's just it. You get 1 MG team, and then after that, you got to hire spec op guys. Oh, look, there's a 4th spec op counter. They gave you 4 worthless counters. You can throw those in the trash and still play this game just fine. I mean, seriously, folks, I would get a rifleman over a spec op. I guess the spec op guy only costs 1 weight point, and that's the whole purpose of him. Versus the rifleman, which takes 2 weight points. I get that, but it just seems so pointless. All right, point's been made, even though that was pointless. Okay, so a couple of things. The first one is now that we covered the spec op guy, which we're going to remove, the sniper is really cool, but there's a lot of infantry in this game over here. Now, what's the chances we're going to get an infantry? Well, we know for sure there's at least 1 infantry with the VIP, but that's it. Those other infantry, we don't have anything to bank on and where they're going to be. The forward observer is useless in our campaign, but what that does is he gives, if a helicopter is attacking anything in the same hex as the forward observer, they get a +1 to their attack. So if you were using one of those Blackhawks or the Iroquois, and you had the 50 caliber cannon on it, he would give you a +1 to your attack, which is really good. And he does cost, it's really hard to read, but it costs 4 sub points. He doesn't do anything for hitting on his own, and he only costs 1 weight point. I mean, I would recommend it if you're going to pair him up with the cheaper helicopters. This Osprey has no attack capability at all. It has no cannons, nothing. So we can't do anything with this. Can I put a cannon on the Osprey? I guess that is a good question. It shows a little minus sign here, but actually no, because the Blackhawks would list the cannons as an option down here. This doesn't. Okay. So I know we went through this with the last campaign. We went through every unit, but let's do it again just because we only got to do this once before, and we definitely didn't do it for this campaign. So let's get out the other guys. That's a leader. he gives +1 to everybody else. So he costs 6 sub SO points, which is a lot. But he gives +1 attack to everybody else. So he might be worth considering. I don't know. It all depends on the how many you're bringing along. And actually, I'm going to look him up real quick because there's a... Oh, it's just saying that if you have more than one leader, only one leader gives a bonus. So there's no point in buying 2 leaders. Which they do give you 2 leaders, but I guess you could technically have 2 assault teams. And oh, the one nice thing about those snipers is they can attack 1 hex away. So most of the time you can only attack within the hex that you're in. The snipers can actually attack the next hex over. So those are really good. So we could like try to take the data first, and while we're in the data hex, he could snipe the infantry over in the VIP hex. That's super cool. All right, the engineers, they're equipped with demolition charges, so we're not going to use those on this mission, but they're super cool. Engineers get like a +9 against buildings. So as you can see there, they have an 8 to hit, which isn't very good, but basically they're guaranteed to take down buildings. There's no buildings in this mission. As you can see, there's 3 vehicles. And so I'm not going to bother bringing out the medic. The medic is used to hire, he's basically one of the guys used to rescue. He doesn't actually heal your own units. But the anti-vehicle, basically your bazooka guys, there's one, there should be 2 of them in the game. Here's one. And he's amazing. He gets you +5 versus vehicles. So normally he only hits with a 7, but he's a 2 against vehicles. He takes 3 weight points, and he's a must-have if we're going to go up against 3 vehicles like we are. I would say he's the most important unit to take. And we actually do have 2 of them. So that would be really good, considering all the vehicles we're going up against. With that said, my helicopter can only take 10 weight points worth of stuff. So I'm going to take these spec ops out. They're worthless. I know I have to take these 2 guys, right? So that's 3 weight points. Those are necessary to win the mission. So let's say I take an anti-vehicle guy. That's 3 more weight points. That gets me to 6. If I took another anti-vehicle guy, that gets me to 9, and then the sniper would be 10. Right? So as much as I would like to bring a leader along, I can't. The MG team is awesome, but I can't. And then the engineers aren't very helpful for this one. The only thing that would be worth considering is adding the MG team instead of the sniper. From a weight point perspective, it doesn't change anything. Or you can add the MG team instead of the anti-vehicle, right? Now, why would I do that? Well, then I can, this anti-vehicle is 3 weight points, so I could add the leader in, and actually 2 weight points of other guys if I wanted, like the MG team, right? So I can add the MG team and the leader and still add maybe 1 other person. I honestly don't know what that 1 other person would be. Another leader doesn't help. I could add another sniper, not that I need 2 snipers. I can't add a rifleman because they take 2 weight points. And then there's no more MG teams. So that would be the perfect thing, would be to take another MG team. But so those are like considerations. Like we could do that. The forward observer would have been a perfect choice if I had a helicopter that actually attacks. That's not the case here. I actually like the 2 anti-vehicles, and I'm going to take the MG team and the leader out and leave the sniper in. Sniper will help us take out the infantry. So that's the team, right? That's 10 weight points worth of stuff, but now we got to count up the sub points. So for example, this guy is a 4. This is 1 for 5. This is 2 for 7, right? And then 4 for 11 and 4 more for 15. So that's going to cost me 2 SO points because it's 1 SO point for every 10. So I'm going to spend 2 SO points on this mission. These missions are SO point hogs. All right. So after all that talk, let's get to some action here. These assault guys, they do attack. The enemy will attack back, and they will go after our assault guys. So we have to be careful. Deployment is all soldiers deploy into a hex. You have to be in low altitude and in hover mode. The air assault soldiers counters from the aircraft to the hex during the aircraft's move attack step. Then the air assault soldiers attack after all slow aircraft have gone. So you have to be careful there because the enemy could possibly attack first. Enemy counters attack during the enemy turn. And again, they would do the hits just like we would draw from the same cup like we did for the close air support. All right, so let's get our tiles out. Do we draw mission cards? This is a little bit bizarre. I don't think we do. You fly in mission like a normal mission. Yeah, I guess we're drawing mission event cards, so let's do the way there. Inflict one heavy hit on each aircraft that does not expend a weapon counter. So I guess I'm getting a heavy hit on the Osprey. Interesting. So the heavy hit is 2 stress. So that's fine. We'll put 2 stress on Miss Tiger here. She had 0. She does have an evasion of 1, so technically that would have been a light hit. So do I still see that? I don't know which one that was. It was a heavy hit that did 2 stress. It would have been 1 stress instead. So I'm going to flip it over to 1 stress. Okay. Let's get our terrains out. Okay. So now we're going to roll to see where the data is. So the data is going to be at 3, this location right here. So what's interesting is I'm going to have to deal with some altitude issues on this one because it's nestled in its own little area. And so now that means that the VIP is either here, here, or here. So 369, and I rolled a 9. So the VIP is going to be in that location. So these 2 units, the command and the anti-air, are going to be with the data, and the infantry and the other command are going to be here with the VIP. So that's how that works. And then I have 3 infantry I'm rolling to see where they randomly go, and I rolled a 369, and so that hurts. So this infantry is going to go here, and an infantry there, and an infantry there. So we got a bit of an issue with that. Now, what's super interesting is the sniper can shoot 1 hex away, but there's a ridge in between the hexes. I could just as easily argue that a sniper just climbs up on the ridge and shoots over the ridge. Um, so just because a ridge protects a vehicle from getting seen doesn't mean a sniper wouldn't be able to see. They get that bonus when attacking enemy infantry. They can also attack out to 1 hex away. So is there a line of sight for your snipers? Can they technically climb the ridge and then shoot over it into the next hex? What an interesting question. And I don't think they cover that in this at all. Because the whole idea is, okay, if I'm here in this hex, can I shoot from this hex to that one? The sniper says it can, and it doesn't specify that ridges block line of sight. It doesn't say that at all. So I'm going to just assume that they have the ability to climb up the mountain and then they can see into the next hex. So that's what we'll do. Our pilot can't start here, for example. Like, it would be lovely to start here at low altitude so we could just take that stuff out, but we can't. And we are a slow pilot, so we don't get to start fast or anything like that. I do have an evasion of 1, and unfortunately that's still a problem because I got ridges to go over here, here, and here. So the ridge thing is going to be an issue. If I start here, I am going to get hit by 2 infantry. I absorb one of them, but I can't absorb the other. If I start here, I'm going to get hit by all kinds of stuff. So that's an issue as well. If I start here, so here's my problem. I have to go into high altitude to move into this hex. I have to be at low altitude to drop off my troops. So this anti-air is going to get a chance to shoot at me, and so is that infantry. And so is this command. I'm going to get hit with all kinds of hits. The Osprey is a crappy helicopter for that reason. Now, I could have sent the AC-130 with me and had them help me, I guess. I just didn't think I needed to. And besides, I wanted to see how the Osprey plays this out, and right now it's not playing it out very well. So I think the best move for me is to start here at low altitude and hovering. So we're going to have 6 loiter turns. Oh, and then I forgot. We got this thing we forgot to do last time. So this says I'm going to get another loiter turn, so I'm up to 7. So I have 7 turns for the scout team. That helped me. And then this one, I think I have to add another infantry out there, right? So yes, I have to add infantry to a random objective hex or squad hex. And then draw another loiter. And then I get +1 loiter turn. So I'm now up to 8 loiter turns. This goes over here, actually. And I got to put in infantry. So even, odd. I rolled an odd. So 1 more infantry goes into this hex here. So here's what's super crazy. This infantry, if he's shooting 1 range away, can't go through the ridge. So I don't think we can either, to be quite honest. That wouldn't be fair, that our infantry can hit them, but their infantry can't hit us. But remember, the infantry are shooting in the air. That's anti-air weaponry. Yeah, I think it is fair. Because this is anti-air stuff. No, the same logic I just used would have applied to them. All right, I'm going to make an executive decision that I can't shoot over the ridge, which makes this an extremely difficult mission. So my Osprey is going to take a light hit here, and we get 2 stress. And yeah, I'm already near the cap of my stress. And so I'm going to go ahead and land. So my sniper, my anti-vehicle, my specialist, my rifleman, all of them are out. We're going to take out these infantry because I don't want to get shot at by them. So they already did their turn, right? Because they went first. We were slow. So now my guys are out, and so I get to attack. My sniper, of course, is going to attack this infantry in the next hex over. He is within view. And let me just get this out of the way. And where's my dice? That's a 7. That's an easy hit and easy kill. So that infantry's down. All right, and then this infantry here, I need to hit with the guys that are in my place, and I have a rifleman that hits with a 6. And there's a 7 right there. And so I just took this infantry. And that actually was going to be a bit of a challenge because nobody was really good at hitting that infantry besides the sniper. So I just took out the 2 things that could hit me. And so we now go to 7 turns. I guess I could be rolling for cover, but there's no actual there's no air fire. All right, so it's my turn. Well, they go first. They can't hit me because we're low, right? So we're gonna load up all of our guys, and I can move up to 2 spaces. So I'm gonna just move 1 space to the edge, and I'm gonna make it so we fly in and land in this location and kill everything as quickly as we can and get the VP out, right? So that's what we're going to do. So that's all I'm going to do for my turn. So now I go down to 6 turns left to go. All right, 6 turns is plenty of turns. I'm not worried about that. So the Osprey can move 2, 0 to 2, in fact. So here we're going to go 1, 2, and hover. And yes, all of our guys are unloading. And we get to attack. Because of the way the timing works, they go after the slow aircraft, and we're the slow aircraft. So they went first, we waited, and then we swooped in. So we're swooping in, and we get a free pot shot. So first of all, my sniper is going to shoot at this infantry. The rifleman will shoot at the other infantry. The anti-vehicle will shoot at the command center. And my other anti-vehicle will help out with the infantry. And the specialist will try to take out the infantry because I'm worried about the infantry the most. All right, so let's start with the sniper. 3 plus 7 is 10, which is enough to take out that infantry. So he's done. And then we got the rifleman who's going to get a 6 against the other infantry. And there's a 7. So that was enough. We took out the other infantry. Then my anti-vehicle gets a plus 5 to his roll. And that's a 5 that he rolled. So we got a 10. He only needed a 7. So we just knocked out everything. And now we're down to 5 turns left. So they go and nothing happens. So here's the issue I have is I have to fly in and then I have to come down because I'm flying in at high altitude and they're going to take a shot at me and there's nothing I can do. But I can at least load my guys and the VIP is rescued. So that's the important thing. I loaded my guys. The VIP is rescued. I have to now flip to high altitude to get over the ridge. No, I don't. I could just stress my way through the ridge. Ooh. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stress my way through the ridge. So I have to roll now. And I rolled a 3, which is 3 more stress for my guy. And I got to be really careful because if he gets more than 6 stress, he is going to be unfit for the mission. And 2, 3, 4, 5. He has a 6 right now. He's actually shaken. But remember, I don't get to... Tiger doesn't have any attacks. So we took the stress. We came through. And what that means then is we get to land our troops. And we get to attack before they do. So I have 2 vehicles. And both of my anti-vehicles are going to go up against the vehicles. And then the rifleman and the sniper are going to go after their infantry. So I'm going to do the sniper right now, and that's a 9, so infantry's dead. Anti-vehicle, that's an 8, so the anti-air is down, which saves our helicopter. And there's another 8, so we just wiped out everything. Job well done. And then the rifleman here, or not, the specialist, our nerd, is going to rescue and hack the data. And so we got the data, and we're down to 4 turns left, and then we would fly away. With a whole lot of stress on our pilot, by the way, but we fly away. We killed everything on the board, so I'm going to get 1 extra experience point for that. And so I'm going to get 3 experience points, in fact. So Tiger, the pilot, which I never showed you, this is the only pilot that comes in the game for this Osprey. He's sitting on 6 stress there. He currently has, well, I think it's a she, but she currently has 3 experience points because I've been giving her 1 experience point for every transport mission. Then she's going to get 3 more from this, and that is not going to level her up. I mean, it's crazy. She needs so many. I think I would have to spend SO points to level her up before you start the day, and that's going to be super difficult to do. And then we get so we're starting day 4 now. We just got 3 victory points for an assault, for an air assault mission. And yeah, we get 3 because we completed it. So yeah, she's gonna have to possibly rest. Well, she has a cool value of 1, but this mission goes to the front line. So that gives me 1 stress. And yeah, so she cancels that stress because she has a cool value of 1. But yeah, so if she does a transport mission, let's say tomorrow, since she has a cool value of 1, she'll keep reducing her stress by 1 because you don't get any stress for doing transport missions. All right, these air assault missions, I guess I could have gone a little quicker with them, but they do take some time. And yes, we took out the data, we took out the VP. Job well done. I still don't like the expansions. I mean, I give credit that whoever thought of this, it was a little ingenious thematically. I just don't like playing it. That's the part. I don't know how fun it is. Maybe it'll grow on me. I don't know. It was a nice way to get 3 victory points, but let's say we didn't do this expansion. I spent 6 SO points on this transport helicopter. Could have bought an Apache or something with that. Was it nice that I'm getting 2 SO points a day from the transport helicopter? I guess so. But I just spent 2 SO points on this mission. So really all he's doing is earning the SO points that I need to do the missions. Yeah, I don't know how exciting that is. Was it fun? Huh. It was interesting. All right. This one is in the books. I wrote it on the sheet, so I don't need to keep the card. Now it's time to go after the regular targets. Let's do the half strength target first. Everything here is -2 weight points, by the way. So I got -2 weight points against this. So do I need to spend an SO point to cancel that? I don't think I do. It's going to be 2, 4, 5 units on the board. And I'm thinking if I just take GBU 38s, and so I'm going to spend 1 SO point to get, special munitions. If I take 4 GBU 38s, that's 4 of the 5. That's just 4 weight points. And I can go up to 8. And then I take 2 GBU 16s. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8. And this would be 9 and 10. Yeah. And that would only get me to 8 weight points, and that's perfect. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. All right, so let's do this. Oh, return mission. I gotta draw a card for the return mission. And I need to shuffle because I used up all the cards. I always forget that return mission, don't I? Yes, I do. All right, and the card is expend a total of 5 weight points of weapon counters to retreat anyone. Yep, not going to happen. Okay, moving on. Like we said, we have our guy armed up. Now we got to draw our mission. Enemy units cannot attack during the first turn. That's it's almost overkill considering what's going on with this particular mission. It's going to take me longer to put these tiles out, I think, than to resolve everything. All right. We did that. Now we place the enemy units. Two commands. One APC. And two SAMs. I mean, two commands and two SAMs are actually pretty foreboding. And the fact when we had 4 of them, because the AC 130 went up against this, it was actually quite brutal. But let's go 2 SAMs at 3 and 6, right next to each other. That's not good. 2 commands, 2 and 3, also not good. And then the APC is at 10. All right, our pilot is not fast, so that's one issue we have. I could put it here. In fact, I can even make him hover. But I will put him here, and actually I will make him hover. Let's do that. So he's hovering in that place at low altitude. And did I send a scout on this one? No, I did not. No scout on this one. And so now we do enemy cover. So I rolled a 9. 1 hex with the most active. So these 2 are going into cover, which does ruin our plans. I was going to just pop up and blow the crap out of everything. So can't quite do that. Actually, I still can. So neener, chicken, McMeaner. All right, so I can move up to 3 spaces. So I'm just going to go 1 and then 2 into hover position here. So screw you at high altitude. Now, when they got to go first, they couldn't do anything because the ridge blocked. So nothing's happening there. We're at 5 turns. Oh, they don't even get to attack on the first turn. I forgot about that. Yeah, I'm still going to go high altitude. Why not? So we're going to do some GBU 16s and GBU 38s. So the 38s hit with a 3. So the 16s are going to go after the SAM, so I can for sure take out the big threats to me. And then the 38s, you know what I would do? I would just hover here. And then I can hit everything on the board all in one turn. Bang, bang, and bang. Thank you. So I'm going to roll for the 2 commands. There's a 9 and an 8, which was overkill. And then for the APC, there's a 10. And everything hits. So my hardest challenge now is making sure I put them away in their proper place. We completely wiped the board. I'm already legendary, so I get a +3 if I'm attacking 1 space away. So these guys didn't even stand a chance. I think I was almost accurate in saying it's going to take me longer to set this up than it is to resolve the mission. If I learned to shut my trap, I probably could have actually resolved the mission quicker than it took to set it up. Okay, boom. That was a very easy mission. The stress is 2 for this mission. I do have a cool value of 1, so I'm going to go up to 4 stress, which is still well within his range. And yeah, this is as good as shuffling whenever I grab those in a particular order. All right, so Fisher, legendary pilot, did his job, and we now got 3 victory points because we finished off something we started. So we're going to get 3 victory points because we finished off 1C completely. This one we had already damaged and took 2 victory points at some previous time. Now, take a look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Per the rules, I get 1, 2, 3 more SO points. I'm back up to 8. Yes, the rich just get richer. That is per this. You gain 3 SO points when you destroy a total of 8 battalions. That's exactly what we just did. So, got 3 more. All right, let's see if we can wrap up this game. I don't know if we can. I think my my C-130 is going to have his work cut out for him. Let's do the Marauder. And he's going up against this thing, which doesn't look too bad. 4, 8, 10, 12 units are going to be on the field. I'm tempted to actually get a bunch of bottle rockets and some AGM-65s. It would be... Ooh. The thing with the tanks is, there's 4 tanks in this one. So trying to hit 4 tanks with AGM-65s, that would be 8 of my weight points. That's too tall of an order. So then I'm trying to hit these tanks with something else. I have a +3 if I do strike. So if I tried to hit with like a Mark 20, it hits with a 6. The tanks make it an 8, and then I turn it back into a 5. So it's a 50-50 chance with the Mark 20s to hit those tanks. I don't like those chances. With a bottle rocket, it becomes... Well, I got a 70% chance of hitting with a bottle rocket. That's not bad. The AGM-65s just seal the deal, period. The AGM-114s, ooh, those can do it. The only issue with those is those don't have a range of 0, so I won't get the +3. Yeah, that's my issue. Same with the AGM-6. Okay, it's bottle rocket time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bottle rockets. Is that crazy of me to do? Sure, it is. But I'm going to just rely on my cannon to do the rest. And I always forget, folks, but I get +1 attack here. See that? So if I'm in the same space as them, I actually get +4 attack. That makes the Mark 20s a little more attractive now, doesn't it? Because I hit with a 4 on those. And I could load 14 of those babies. Ooh, 14 is a lot. That means I could hit those tanks with 2 Mark 20s each. I'm still thinking. Part of the reason I think the bottle rockets are going to work is because I'm getting a +4 to my roll. if I get a 3 or better, I'm going to keep the bottle rocket. That's my logic, is the chances of me losing the bottle rockets is going to be it's in my favor that I'm going to get to keep it, and it's going to be just as good as the Mark 20s. Now, the thing with the Mark 20s is it hits everything in the location. So if we get them bundled together, there's 12 units. So there's going to be a minimum of 2 hexes that's going to have more than 1 unit, because there's only 10 hexes. So if you have 12 units, every hex could potentially have 1 unit, and then 2 of them will have 2. But there's a really good chance that that the distribution is not going to be that even. So the answer to that question then is just to take one of these away and put 2 Mark 20s in its place. There you go. All right, we're done. That cost an SO point, by the way. We're down to 7. Oh, and I have -2 weight point. So I'm going to do that to negate the -2 weight points. And so we're down to 6 SO points. Oh, I forgot to do the return mission for the last guy. No effect, clear skies. Who hasn't leveled up yet? It would be the C-130. Okay, so this guy, discard 2 weight points of air-to-ground counters, or 1 random aircraft suffers 1 heavy hit. I'm going to take the heavy hit because I have 1 evasion, so I reduce that to a light hit. And I drew no effect. And again, the glare looks bad, but it says no effect. So I was totally fine with getting stress or whatever on that one. Okay. Okay, that's our lineup. Four APCs and 1, 2, 3s. 2 commands. These commands are actually, because they do 2 late hits, they're actually a little problematic. 4 tanks, which are just going to be hard to kill, and 2 trucks, which balance out the tanks by being easier to kill. And all the more reason I'm probably going to keep bottle rockets is because of those 2 trucks. I mean, all right, so 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I think we're good. Here's the 2 trucks, 4 and 8. The 4 tanks, 1, 7, and both of these are on 10. Interesting. All right, APC 3, 1, 5, and 7, and then the 2 commands 1 and 4. So just like I predicted, it didn't evenly distribute, and in fact we had 3 empty ones. So the MK20 decision is a decent one. We do have a scout on this one, so let's roll for our scout. I just rolled a 10, which gives me 4 extra turns, so I'm up to 9, and I lose 1 stress. I actually have no stress, so that would have helped, but that was very well done. My scout definitely stayed alive this time. Okay, where do I go? See, now this one, it would have been nice to not get hit on the first turn. These guys, I have to go high altitude to get them. Nothing I can do about that. There are 2 tanks that are together. Those are just going to be a difficult hit to do. I do evade. I'm slow, and I evade. Like, it's tempting to start here, but the problem is that, yeah, I can like hit this with my cannon, but then I have to move into this area, which is going to get me shot down. These 2 are in their own area, so I'm going to have to go high altitude to get those as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start here with the truck, and I'm going to roll, just do a cannon shot. I'm slow. I evade 1 hit, so they hit me for nothing. I got to do a cover roll first. 4. Nothing happens. It's just destroyed hexes. And I rolled a 10, so I destroy the truck. And then I have to move 1 space, so I'm just going to move like so. That's sort of what we're going to do here. And I'm probably going to have to do a standoff attack, even though that's not my strength. Because it's the only way I'm going to be able to infiltrate these without taking hits. But let's go down to 8 turns. Roll for a cover. I rolled an 8. So any 1 unit in each hex. I think you're supposed to roll to determine which one does, but I'm just going to go ahead and, yeah, here, even odd, even, this one, even odd, it's odd, and then 3, 6, 9, 2. All right, so that just ruined my plans to do standoff attack. So I'm going to do a 1 and then a 2, like that. And during the 1, I'm going to just do a, I'm doing another cannon attack. There's no point in wasting ammunition if I don't need to. And that was a 5, which is more than enough to knock out that APC. So now we're down to 7 turns. I rolled a 9, so 1 hex with the most active. That'll be this one. So these are all in cover. So I have to go in and pop those out. So for this particular turn, and again, nobody's hitting me here, I do have to go high altitude to get over the ridge. I mean, I could take the stress, theoretically, but high altitude's fine. And I'm going to go in just 1 space. So now I'm subjected to getting hit by a whole crap ton of stuff. And this one here is going to hit me for sure, because he shoots 2 light hits and I can only block 1 of them. However, I'm going to shoot 3 bottle rockets. Or no, you know what? There's 3 units here. I'm going to put an MK20 on this one. So we're going to do an MK20 on these guys. And should I do 2 is the question. The bottle rockets are going to be better at taking out the tanks. This is where the having a independent would have been nice, because I could have independently shot at both of these since I'm high altitude. But that would have taken a bit more planning and less ammunition. I'm going to do 2 MK20s because I need to wipe out everything in this space. If I don't, I'm going to take more hits by whatever I missed. So let's start with the command center. So I rolled a 2 and a 1, and now I'm very nervous. The 2, I get a +3 is 5, which misses the 6 that I needed for the Mark 20, except +1 attack. So that 2 still hits. Boy, did that make me nervous. I can't roll this bad for the tank, though, which is what I'm doing next. And that 3 is bad, but I do have a 6. That 6 seals the deal on the tank. And then I have an APC, and that's a 10. The other one was a 3. So all 3 of them are done. Job well done. Okay, I am at high altitude. I moved to 6, so now we got to draw a pop-up. Which, it's really funny. We've been drawing a lot of bad pop-ups, but not this time. No enemy. Okay, so I am going to take a light hit because this guy shoots 2 of them at me and I only absorb 1. And the light hit is engine damage. So, whoops, I just knocked over stuff. All right, that engine damage doesn't hurt us now, but we'll have to spend an SO point to repair it. No worries. Okay, I'm going to fly in, right? And then I'm going to fly out because I need to get close to damaging my other stuff here. I'm not rolling for cover anymore because I don't care. I'm hitting everybody in their location. I'm not trying to shoot from one space away. So if you're doing that, it doesn't matter if you roll for cover. And I know one of you keeps commenting that I forget to roll for cover. I don't think I forget as much as you think, but I'm deliberately not doing it here because it doesn't matter. So with this situation, I'm doing 2 bottle rockets. One is against the truck, and one against the command. So let's do the truck first. So I rolled a 7, and so I'm definitely keeping the bottle rocket, and the truck is obliterated. And then the command is a 7, and I get to keep the bottle rocket, and he gets destroyed as well. I'm still at high altitude, so we are now down to 5 turns left. I'm drawing. No enemy pop-up. So I think let's try to get the tanks first. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and then we're dropping 2 bottle rockets again. And the first tank is a 10. Boy, that die rolled all the way to the other end of the table. A 10, so I keep the bottle rocket. Next tank, this one's more troublesome. I rolled a 4. He subtracts 2 to make it a 2. I need a 4 to hit. I add 3 because of my skill, and then 1 more because of the plane. So 4 goes down to 2, up to 5, up to 6. So I got a 6. So I lose the bottle rocket, but I do destroy the tank. And I am still at high altitude. So we're going to draw another pop-up counter. 4 turns left. And this one is no enemy. All right, keeping up the trend, I'm going to come here and do the same thing, 2 bottle rockets. Let's roll for the tank first. It's the same deal. I rolled a 4, which causes me to lose the bottle rocket, but I hit the tank. And then the APC, that's a 1. Ooh. My +4 still hits, but I lose the bottle rocket. That's fine. APC down. We're down to 3 turns left. I'm still at high altitude. I really could have... Nope. I can go to low altitude this next turn. Another no enemy. And yeah, so then this is my last turn. I'm coming in here. I got an APC. I'm going to shoot a bottle rocket. And I rolled a 2, which I think even if I rolled a 1, I still hit. It's just a whether or not I keep the bottle rocket. And yes, because I get a +4 to my roll. So we just cleaned out the map. I get +3 experience. It doesn't matter. I'm already maxed out on my experience. And yes, we got another 3 victory points for knocking out 3C. And yeah, don't need to worry about anything else. So 7C is gone. We're down to 1 battalion left in the entire battle. And the AC 130 is up next. So tanka. And by the way, I just want to point out that this is supposed to be expert. So, and also technically speaking, it's expert. And as much as I whine and complain about the expansion pack, I played it properly. I didn't cheat in any way, other than I just basically force quit the fact that my scout got destroyed on turn one. um, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is that even though I made it more difficult with the expansion pack, I still am showing that you can win on expert mode with the expansion pack. So there's no reason. I guess there's no reason not to use the expansion pack. Am I having fun? I guess I don't know. I mean, I sort of like I said, it might grow on me. Um, the I'm winning this campaign on expert mode with the expansion pack and all the SO points that it cost me to buy the transport helicopter, to pay for the assault mission. I still did it all, and I'm okay. Yeah, I guess I can't whine that much. All right. The good news about this we got to do a return mission. I always forget to do that. Gain 1 SO point if you destroy the battalion. So always love the SO points. We're now up to 7. This one I'm not sure I'm going to beat. This is a tougher one. So we're going to draw for... I don't have to spend any SO points. Subtract 1 from ridge evasion rolls. So this is actually a bad thing. So it means if I try to do ridge evasion, I'm going to get more stress. But I am on an AC 130, which doesn't have to ever do ridge evasion rolls. So it's a perfect time to draw that card. My aircraft is already armed because it's an AC 130. My guy gets a +1 to all of his rolls. He hasn't leveled up yet to ace. He should, this mission, I think he's at... he's only at 4 experience. He needs 9. He's not going to do that this mission. That stinks. He's never going to get there. So if he did level up, just so you can see, the reason I picked him, I mean, him being fast is actually pretty nice. He gets +1 standoff, 1 cool. He would get a +2 standoff and 2 cool. And then his evasion, I think, stays at 8. I don't think that went up. Actually, it's a 7, so it would actually go up by 1. I think the other one you can choose actually has an evasion of 10. So an AC 130 with an evasion of 10 is, you would think that you don't need to go that high, but that one mission, we actually came close to, we actually did take some damage. Okay. Let's get some of their stuff out. 1, 2, 4 anti-air sites. Those are nasty. 4 buildings. Also nasty. The good news is I can send all 3 of my planes after this next time if I have to. 1, 2, 3, 4 infantry. 4 storage. That thing that I was talking about that we never see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 storage. And then 6 trucks. 6 trucks is like candy. This mission would have vastly benefited from having Mark 20s. I mean, just looking at all these units that are coming onto the board. And the problem with an AC 130 is I can only hit 3 at a time. Always only hit 3 at a time. So that's the problem. So we're going to start with the trucks. 1129. I could theoretically abort, but I'm going to just take the experience points. 1 and 4. Then we're on the storage. 1, 7, 2, 7. Infantry, 1, 1. Oh my gosh, look at this for an MK20. That's an MK20 Dream right there. 9 and 5. Then the buildings, 10, 4, 2, 6. And the anti-air, 10, 4, 3, and 7. Okay, so I also get to roll for a scout, and I rolled a 2, which only gives me 1 extra turn. So we have 6 turns to wreak havoc on this. I only get to evade 7, so I have to be careful. Those anti-airs they pack a really hard hit. So I'm thinking I might want to start right here, like so. So these 2 would be the target. I go fast. I can take out this anti-air, the truck, and the infantry on the first turn. And then I do have to move, and I'm going to get hit by this anti-air and this infantry and that truck, but I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. This is 4, 5, 6 hits, and I can absorb 7, so it's doable. My biggest challenge is going to be hitting these 3 here, largely because I have to shoot left. And the only way I can hit this tile is to be facing this way, exiting the map, or I have to be completely turned around and facing this way here, or this way here. So if I'm facing this way down here, I am shooting these 2. So I could theoretically do that, actually. All right, well, let's go ahead and start. Let's roll for cover. 10 means they would emerge from cover, so nothing happens. We go first. So I'm going to shoot the anti-air with my 1, so he's automatically dead. Then with my 3, I'm going to shoot the infantry. And I get a +1 to my roll. So I rolled a 4. So infantry is down. I'm not going to go after the building because he can't go in hiding. So I'm going to go after the truck. And it's a 5. So if I would have rolled like a 3 or whatever, I still would have hit the truck. So hitting the trucks with your worst attack is a good deal. So we just took out 3 right there. To get this sucker down to half strength, I got to get it down to 23 points. Okay, so I need to move at least 1 space, and so I'm going to move to here and end the turn. So then we get to their turn. We're going to roll for cover. I rolled a 3, which is same hex as the aircraft. So both of these guys just hit cover, and I can't do a thing about it. So they just went into cover. So I'm not going to be able to hit those, which is okay, because that's only 2 points worth of stuff. So now my issue is this guy hits me with heavy. So that's 4 points. And then this is 5 points, and that's 6 points. But I block 7, so I'm okay. So they don't hit me with their attack. And so now it's my turn. So I'm going to move 2, and I'm going to go 1 and then 2. And by orienting myself that way, I can hit these 2 zones. These storage can't go into cover. So for my first hit, I'm going to hit this anti-air in the back. Right? So that one's going to be down. And I'm going to go after this one with my second hit. And a 3 is good enough to take out that anti-air. So I just took out a whole bunch of the damage that's happening to me. And then with my third one, I can go after this building or that storage. And that's an interesting conundrum. Like, which one's the better? But this is my worst roll, and the building gives me a -4 to my roll. So I'm going to go after a storage. And I rolled a 1, which is not good enough to hit the storage. So I missed with the third attack. So now I'm down to 4 turns left. Rolling for cover. I rolled a 2. So anything in the same hex as the aircraft. Well, this is a building, so nothing happens. I take 4 hits from this and a 5th hit from this. So and then a 6th hit from the infantry. So I survive just fine. Remember, I can only shoot out my left side. So I'm going to go 1 and then 2. And I'm going to shoot into this mess right here. And let's see how much of this we can take out. So we have some infantry in there, which could go into cover. So I'm going to shoot at the infantry first with my, well, I don't even have to roll. This infantry is dead. I'm going to shoot at the other infantry with a 3, and I hit it. And then I'm going to shoot at a truck with my 5, and I rolled a 3, which is enough to hit the truck. So I knocked out 3 of those. Now I know that the buildings and the storages are worth going after, but because I'm using my C-130, I gotta go after all the stuff that can go into hiding, because I already have 2 that went into hiding here, and I can't do anything about those. So I'm trying to hit everything else that I can. I'm down to 3 turns. I'm more or less getting to a spot where I can move fearlessly around the board and not worry about getting hit. So 5 is has destroyed units in the hex. That's here, so both of these trucks just went into hiding. So all that's left is a storage there. So I now have 4 points in hiding. I can leave 6 points on the board and still somehow win this thing. So what am I going to do next? Well, I'm going to go 1 and then 2. So now I'm shooting at both of these. I'm going to hit this one for 1 and knock out the anti-air. And then I'm going to go after a storage for 3. And I rolled an 8. So I took out the storage, and I'm going to go after this truck for 5. And I hit the truck. So 3 more down. All right, I'm down to 2 turns left. And I roll for cover. I rolled a 7. So 1 random hex, and I rolled a 1, and 1's already gone into cover. So what do I do next? Well, I said that I was going to have to move into here. And yeah, I got to be really careful because I can only shoot left. I didn't just shoot right one time, did I? If I did, I apologize. I can only shoot left, but so I'm going to go 1 and then 2 like this, and I'm going to shoot at these 2 oil fields. So one of them is automatically dead, and the other one, I rolled a 2. Ooh, and I only add 1. It's a 3. Oh, 3 is all I need. So boom, we got him. I'm down to 1 turn left. So now it becomes a question of, can I actually destroy these? I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 points on the board. 4 points are in hiding. I can leave 2 more points on the board. So I would have to destroy 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings, and I'm on my last turn. Folks, I just don't think I can do it. I think I'm going to have to accept the fact that I only did half damage. So again, I'm flying fearlessly now. So I'm going to go 1, 2 to exit the mission, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and, or could I have, I could do that. Nope. What do I have to do to be able to hit these 2? I need to go this way. There we go, 1, 2. And so I'm going to shoot this with a 1 and that with a 3. So with the 1, he subtracts a 4 from my roll. I mean, I didn't even hit the 1. And then the 3, I didn't hit that one either. So, because they're buildings, they get a -4 to my roll. I just couldn't hit those buildings. So Yeah, I leave the map. I did more than enough to do half damage, and the day's over. So this is a fixed target, so it doesn't move forward. So we don't have to do any rolls there. The no-fly stress recovery just means that Zinger loses his stress. No big deal there. I would have gained 2 stress points for my pilot. I have a cool value of 1, so I just gained 1. My pilot only gets 1 experience point for this, which gets it nowhere near leveled up. And we would have 1 more day to kill 1 battalion. So let's do a victory point check. And I'm just going to read off of my paper here. And can you read that okay? Yeah, that's not bad. It's a little goofy because of the green screen. But basically, you can see there that we need 23 points to get a grade evaluation. So for day 1, we got... So I'm going to take away the 4 victory points. So, because we lose 4 victory points. So 2, 4, 7 points. That's after removing 4 victory points. So I got 7 victory points on day 1. On day 2, we got 9. On day 3, we had 6. And on day 4, we got, well, I wrote down 9, but we actually just scored 1 more from this one. And this was for 4S. And this was a half damage. So we actually got 10 victory points on day 4. So 10 plus 9 is 19, and 6 is 25, and 7 is 32 victory points after 4 days. And I only needed a 23 to get a great rating, and I'm already at 32. So we're blowing this out of the water. Now, tomorrow. So let's just, I really don't want to play another, like, these counters that you see out here, I'm just going to cut them in half because this particular battalion is fixed. It doesn't move. So we would take away half the buildings, half the everything, and then I have 3 planes to come in and destroy this thing. And I challenge you to think that I'm not going to be able to do that with my C-130, my F-15, and my my Thunderbolt. My Osprey is really shaken, so there is a chance I'm going to lose victory points here. So let's draw this and just see what the mission, what the special condition card would have been for tomorrow. So the special, it's a close air support. So my Osprey would have been fine. I didn't need it to transport troops. The point I'm making is that my pilot for the transport helicopter is so stressed out that if he gets 1 more stress, that he would have to abort the mission. So if we had to do an air assault mission here, I would have lost victory points. So here I'm losing 1 victory point. So I would go down to 31. And then I have a chance that if I do well enough, I could get this up to whatever. So this particular mission that this battalion that's down to half strength, I would send the C-30 probably after that battalion. I mean, I guess I could go here against the close air support. But remember, when they go in hiding, that's when I get in trouble. I get +1 victory point for each unengaged squad. And if I complete it, each participating pilot gets +1 experience point. So yeah, I could send the AC-30 just because I want to get the extra experience point. I can send, the F-15 or whatever against this, or maybe the Warthog against that, because he can carry 14 points worth of munitions. And then, we'll just take a bunch of building busters to handle all those buildings. So you carefully plan it out. This particular one has 1, 2, 3 squads. So I have the potential to score 2 victory points from this. If I saved all 3 squads, I could score 2 victory points. And I could quite literally send 2 of my, the F-35 and the AC-130 against this to make sure that I truly win this thing. Um, the Warthog would take out the other one, or maybe I need to flip it around and do the Warthog after this thing, and then the F-15 and the AC-130 after the other one. It doesn't matter. For sure, I'm getting 2 victory points for destroying the battalion. 2 victory points for that, and then let's just say that I at least break even on this. That would be 34 victory points, and this has a potential of getting me up to 36. As always, I forgot to draw the return home. I would have taken 2 light hits but light hits I'm immune to those because I have an evasive of 7. So long story short, blew this one out of the water. If you're okay with it, I'm not going to play the final day, but I at least let you see how the final day would have played out. And I would have been anywhere from 34 to 36 victory points before it was all over. Obviously, I'm drawing event cards. So on the way there, I would have expend a total of 3 weight points to gain a victory point. So if I was willing to do that, I could have gained another victory point. And this would probably been the close air support one, and I probably would have said yes because I don't need all those weight points, right? And then on the way home, I would have taken some damage. Then on the way to the next mission against the battalion, I would have taken a heavy hit. And then on the way back, I would have, it didn't matter. Pay an SO point, who cares? So So yeah, and the whole reason I drew those is because I knew there was a chance I could get it, maybe eke out a victory point depending on what I drew. And so there was one in there that gave a victory point, and I don't know if I would have situationally been able to do it. So there you go, 34 to 37 victory points in a mission where 23 was the top score. I sort of feel like Afghanistan's not rated right, but I did go in some pretty badass equipment. The AC-130, despite its flaws, still did amazing work. The F-35 is so good, and to be quite honest, the Thunderbolts are. I think every mission you need a Thunderbolt. Personally, if you played Hornet Leader, anything that was prior during the Tomcat days. So after the Tomcat days, it's all Hornets. Hornets, and then if you're far enough into the future, the F-35s come in, and they're worth getting too. So Hornets and F-35s in the future. Anything past, I think it's 1986 or whatever, you want to. It's all Hornets. Like you're going to have a team of nothing but Hornets, and Hornets are going to be your air-to-air battle and your air-to-ground. Like they're like the perfect union of bomber and fighter, right? But prior to 1986, I think you're going to use Tomcats. The F-14s were the thing against for air to air, and you use the Hornets more for air to ground in that one. Hornets weren't quite as good as the Tomcats, but here's the thing: in those early '80s, we're talking Hornet Leader here. There was the I want to call it the Corsair, but I know it's not called the Corsair. Those Vietnam era bombers still existed. And there was one of them that has like 16 weight points or something like that. It's a ridiculous number. It is like the best bomber in the game, and you would just load that sucker up with all the bombs you needed to destroy the target, and then everybody else you just use to take out anti-air sites. And but you just like load 500 pounders and 1,000 pounders on him, and he would go over the site and just bomb it to oblivion, and then everything else was used to take out air to air and all the radar sites. That's what made Hornet Leader so much fun. But this one, it's very similar. The lightning bolt or the thunderbolt is the equivalent of that Vietnam era. It just got all the munitions, almost more than you ever need, and you could really go in and solitaire those missions with him just by himself and just wreak havoc on everything. So good. Anyways, I think that's gonna wrap. I have a board gaming event tomorrow with some of my friends, so there's gonna be no solitaire for me for a few days. And there's a birthday in the family, so we're gonna be out and about for that. So it might be a few days before you hear from me again. And I think the thing that I need to search my soul is, do you want to see another mission of this? Maybe one, like, I really think that if we did World War III again, the Harriers are a must. And it was a huge mistake to not take those. I'm thinking if I did another one, we would try the swarm strategy. So we would get those unmanned choppers, so that way all of our pilots are fast. And then we're going to get a whole bunch of those cheap little 1-2 point choppers, load them up with bombs, put them all on fast, and just start them here, 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 here. And I'm serious. We would have a chopper in every edge space, and since they all get to go fast because we have an unmanned vehicle, a UAV, the UAV causes all of them to go fast, so they all get to go bing, 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 and we just and basically wipe out the map all on turn one. I think that would be so awesome. Um, Obviously, the really cheap choppers, they don't carry very much, but indulge me a bit. If you want to quit, go ahead. I'm just fooling around now. Uh, First of all, the Apaches, they're not super cheap, but see, they only cost 5. That AC-130 costs 10. So I mean, the Apache right there is, I can get 2 of those for the price of one of something else that we just played. So, and these are the A64Ds. I think they're even cheaper if you get the A version. Yeah, just 1 point cheaper. They cost 4 to get the A version, and they get a +1 attack, so they're super good. The AGM 114s are great. I mean, so if you start at the edge of the map, or you could bottle rocket the crap out of something. Anyways, like I said, we can swarm with Apaches if we wanted. I mean, 5 points and 4 points, you can get quite a few of those. But the thing I wanted to bring up are the crappy helicopters. Let's do the crappy ones. Well, first of all, the Blackhawks aren't really crappy. We got 3 of these, by the way, so we can use those to the swarm, right? Those actually cost more than the Apaches. And I think, I don't even know why that would cost more. He basically carries the same exact things the Apaches. I think the issue is that they're transport choppers. So you can use those to generate SO points if you don't want to send them on a mission. And so, yeah, even if you did the swarm idea, you can use them for assault missions, right? So, but these are actually pricey. They cost 6. I mean, the Apache helicopter we just had only cost 5. And for my money, they're better than the Black Hawk. The only issue is they don't have transport capability. That's the only dig to them. And they're not available until 1997. So depending on which mission you're doing, the other Apaches are available in 1986. So at 1979, I guess I don't know. Is there any missions that are before 1986? I think we actually do have one. I think it came with the expansion. 2014, 2001, 1991, 1984, Libya. So you can't even use Apaches in that one, but that you could use the Marauders, or the Marauders. That's what I'm thinking of. That's the Vietnam bombers, the Marauders, the Thunderbolts. 2011, 2013, 2011, 1986. Yeah. So there's one mission, Libya. 1984. So you would have to use the Blackhawks. But I'm not done. I'm not done. Here we go. These ones only cost 4, which is the same as the Apache. And those are the UH-1s. So those are the Iroquois. We used those in the last campaign. They also transport a 4. And there you can see I can load up some AGM 114s with that and some bottle rockets. So once again, going fast, start them at the edge of the map. We can buy 2 of those and swarm. But I'm not done yet. These ones I've never played ever because I always thought they were the crappiest helicopters in the game, and they are. But there's actually crappier ones now with the expansion pack. But these ones were the crappiest in the game, and they're the Cobras. These are the Vietnam ones you always see in the movies. They still take an AGM 114 and have 6 weight points. I think the reason I always thought they were crappy is just because, well, their cannon hits with a 9. They only carry 6 weight points, whereas the Apaches, for just 2 SO points more, carried more. But you can get 1, 2, 3, 4 of these, and they're 2 SO points each. So when we're talking about our swarm strategy, there you go. There's 4 of those. And then with the expansion, they went nuts, and we got these MH6s, which are these like 19. They're like commercial helicopters. That's what they are. They're commercial helicopters. All they carry is bottle rockets and crappy BGM 71s, only 4 weight points. They don't do any transportation, but look at this, 1 SO point. They're like the same as a scout plane. And so we could use them and just swarm. Those are called little birds. And the pilots for the little birds are all slow. There's only 2 pilots that come in the game. They're slow. And with the unmanned, the UAV, we can make them fast, and then all of a sudden they're wreaking havoc on the field. I mean, seriously, we could swarm the crap out of the board. And what good is it? Because I'm sending all these helicopters to one mission. But boy, oh man, that one mission would be glorious. And anyways, little birds, we get 2 pilots for that. For the Iroquois, we get only 2 pilots for that. So even though I'm saying we have 2 choppers we can buy, there's only 2 total pilots. So you're not going to be able to like demote one to promote the other if you're buying all of them. Now with the Cobras, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 pilots for the Cobra. Okay, so this one, they give you 2, but there's only 2 pilots. So if you buy both of these, both pilots have to be in the game. For this one, the AH-1, okay, yeah. For the Cobras, they give you like 5 pilots, but they give you 4 choppers to buy. For the UH-1, they give you 2 choppers, but only 2 pilots, again. And then for the Blackhawks, they give you 3 choppers and only 3 pilots. So one of the, I guess, weird parts about this game is they don't give you a lot of extra pilots. So if you want to buy all the equipment that comes with the game, you're going to basically start with nothing but average pilots. So I guess the one drawback is you're not going to get huge bonuses to your attack because being able to promote somebody to veteran is a big deal, and the chances of becoming an ace in this game are only they only exist if you start as a veteran. There's like in Hornet Leader, I think one of the biggest reasons I love it is it has RPG elements. You can start the game as a newbie and get promoted all the way up to ace in one campaign in Hornet Leader. It's possible because there's just so many days in a campaign. The campaigns are big, they're long, and you get promoted all the way up to an ace. In this game, you're lucky you get promoted once before the campaign's over. So that is a bit of a gripe I have with this one. But anyways, if you do the swarm, there you go. I would cheap chopper. It's called the cheap chopper. We're gonna come up with another C name. Cheap chopper catastrophe. And remember, you would pair these up with the UAVs that give all your pilots fast attack. I'm looking at the Blackhawks. Most of those pilots are slow. There's one that starts off fast. There's a Cobra that's fast, but everybody else is slow. There's 2 Cobras that are fast. But yeah, most of the pilots would really benefit from it. And yeah, you just nuke the map. And you know what? I think that if you really wanted to min-max your pilots, obviously, this one where they only cost one each, it might behoove you to buy both, right? But if you really did only buy one, then you could still min-max the pilot, and if you're buying one of every chopper, you still get to swarm the map. I mean, maybe not as dramatically as I was saying, but even with the Apaches, there's a crap ton of Apache pilots. At least a dozen I'm looking at here. And so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 Apache Ds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Apache As. So 9 Apache As for Pete's sakes. So you could buy 5 Apache As and still not even come close to using up all your pilots. And 5 Apache As swarming a map is still a big deal. 5 Apache As is 20 SO points at the prices that they are listed at. That's 20 SO points. We just spent 39 on this last campaign, and it cost us 35 to buy the 3 planes that we bought. The AC-130, the F-35, and the Marauder. Not the Marauder, but the Lightning Bolt. That cost 35. So for 20 points, I can get 5 Apache A's. 5 Apache A's swarming one of these maps, I think would do some serious damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each one of them going fast because a UAV is with them. The UAVs, the cheapest UAV you can get is 3. And it doesn't have any weapons or anything, but it still gives you the linked, and it gives you the linked ability too. So you can have an Apache here, an Apache here. I'm sorry, an Apache here and one here. And as long as this one has visibility into this space, which he does, this Apache could shoot a rocket over this ridge and nail it because they're all linked thanks to the UAV. All right, it's pretty interesting. I may try it. It's just a lot of work and setup just to try something that I think I'll only enjoy for the first couple turns. But it's going to be epic because just putting all of the munitions on these helicopters every single turn. Oh, okay. Thanks for watching. I probably added another 30 minutes to this video just talking about the swarm, but I do find it funny. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome. 2 campaigns of Thunderbolt Apache Leader in the books. I'm seriously considering getting Tiger Leader out next, just because I did pay for that expansion, and I guess I should play it at least once, shouldn't I? The Tiger Leader expansion, by the way, I'm not very impressed with it at all. It just looks like it's more of the same stuff. Although it did give me new tiles, so that might be interesting. I didn't look at those. All right, Tiger Leader is probably next. Thanks for watching.